What's poppin', y'all? We're currently at the aftermath of the Charlamagne and Akademiks sit down, not so much of an interview. And Joe Budden, who is somebody that sat down from Akademiks many times, has given his take, and it's not looking too hot.
I've been in here on my grind, working at my craft. I'm now number one, or at least eye level with my peers that I looked up to coming up. I'm running it now. I'm riding with Drake. I'm riding with Steak, and I'm going to see Charlamagne, who won't have a one-on-one with me. And I'm going to really lay into him, man, and really get my point across and let him know this the new era. That's what it felt like for me, I'm saying, when going into it. I really thought that Charlamagne, why would he be doing that? But okay, they went and did it. Great. Hey, I love it. Content time. But then after they did it, and Act came back to the internet first, before any footage came out, when Act came back first, I said, that's not. But when he came back to the internet first, I was like, yeah, I never seen that go.
So this is a good point made by Joe Budden, and I think there are a couple of different issues that we're going to go over in this video. This is going to be very, very detailed. But number one is, why did Charlamagne sit down with Akademiks? Keep in mind, when Akademiks was getting his Spotify deal, he would go out and say like, hey, look, I'm calling in all of my favors. Anybody that I've ever worked with, I need you on my podcast. I've got to make sure that this thing goes out with a bang. And it did. Like the first episode, he showed up with 6ix9ine, Whack 100. That really took Whack 100 to new heights after that in terms of being a media personality himself. But he would go off on Chief Keef for not showing up, despite covering him a bunch of times. They would patch things up behind the scenes after that. But he would cash in all of his chips. And one person that didn't show up on his podcast when he wanted him there was none other than Charlamagne, interestingly enough. Despite the fact that Charlamagne had been on Vlad many times, I believe he's even gone back to Vlad. And it wasn't until Akademiks became such a huge personality that he would invite him onto the Breakfast Club. And this is usually like when you see a Vlad, when you see an Adam 22, when you see an Akademiks, when you see a Sean Cotton. These guys, they'll give an interview to the person, and then the other person will give them an interview back. It's like a swap, like how rappers do. But Charlamagne would never show up. So why would Charlamagne show up for a sit down? It is my belief that this was orchestrated and they wanted to get a narrative out, and they came prepared, and Akademiks came in doe-eyed, kind of like a deer, and thought, okay, I'm going to come in. This is an honest conversation, when it was anything but. And he comes in knowing all of this off the top of his head, expects the audience to know it, and they don't. And this is also off of the back of Akademiks TV, Akademiks' Mans, just an onslaught on Charlamagne the past 3 to 4 weeks. I don't even think it was much of coming at Jay-Z or Rock Nation as opposed to Charlamagne. And he would make that clear, mentioning that guy multiple times, allegedly some creating, in my opinion, creating that article, or somebody sending him that website on this fake AI article written about that guy George. Also, funny enough, the photos of Akademiks TV that were randomly leaked on a Twitter account, they started off on a random Twitter account that nobody follows. These photos, that's where they debuted. And then all of these different accounts start quote tweeting it, and that's how it spreads. But we're going to move on to the main point here, which is Akademiks. He said that, yo, we need to have a conversation. I need to put you on the phone with my mans, or we need to do something live. We can't have this being, cut up or anything like that. And they refused the live discussion. That's a very important point. And my belief is that they refused the live because you can't doctor the live stream. Like, for instance, if there's a live stream, there will be a live chat. And the live chat will give you a real temperature check of what's going on in real time. And you can't fake that. Like, yeah, you can have bots that run up the views during a live stream. You can have, but the bots that are in live chats are very, very amateur. Like, they'll spam an emoji. Maybe on YouTube, they'll have like the what is it called? Like that cartoon alligator thing that's like a YouTube default. They'll just say something very basic that even a human that is, barely sentient would be like, okay, that doesn't sound like a real comment. That doesn't match the context. But if you have a pre-recorded video, you can seed comments. And that is my belief into what happened. Because one of the things that Akademiks says during that interview is, you can just read the comments. You know what's hilarious about this? We're going to go look through the comments. So the comments there are, I think this is a mix of real comments and fake comments. So in Akademiks' video, keep in mind, Akademiks' channel, he uploaded it. He didn't get to upload the full version. He tried to, but it ended up being like 2 hours and 42 minutes. I don't know why, but the full one was 3 hours. The full one was on Charlamagne's channel. But we're going to take a look at a couple of different comments on Akademiks' channel. And some of these comments I do not believe are real. So the first one is this guy, Jerry West, right? He says, I realize how much I don't give a F about any of this. This gets 2.3K likes. Why do I believe this comment is real? Number one, there's pattern recognition. I've been doing this for a very long time, so I can tell a bot comment and not a bot comment. But also, if you pull up this channel, you see this is a real person, right? Like there's playlists saved. This person's had the account for a while. They've uploaded videos before. I'm not saying you have to have uploaded videos for the account to be a bot, but this is also something that somebody would say, like, man, I don't give a damn about any of this, because people really don't give a damn about any of this for the most part. Now, when we get to fake comments, we have something like this, where it says, this interview is an adult talking to a child. And you just think to yourself, that's a little bit odd. Why would you comment that? Keep in mind, these comments were being put out immediately when the video was uploaded, and they're upvoted. And you look at this page has nothing on it. No content, no playlists, no bio, no nothing. And then another one by this Jason Tate. It says, when real life meets internet. Like these are just basic, vague comments that you would find that populate a 6ix9ine video when it would drop in the first hour. This is a real person can't just be saying this. And you look up this page and surely enough, there's no content on it. There's no bio. There's no playlist. There's nothing. And then you see another one that sounds like it's AI. You can tell Ak doesn't listen to comprehend. He just listens to respond. And then this is upvoted, mass upvoted. And then you look at the page. There's nothing here. Now, this is where we get to a nuanced comment, where this comment, in my belief, it could be real. And it would be sensible. Like, for example, this person says, I'm mad Ak played like he was giving belt. LMAO. He wasn't at all. So there's context here. This can't just be botted all the way. Like, so this account, it doesn't have any content or anything like that. But like I said, I believe it's real because the way that it's typed, you see like the punctuation here. Belt is like a slang term. If it's a if you know thing, right? Like a human being would know what this means. But otherwise, not so much. And then a real looking comment is when this person says it's different when you're in that basement drunk by yourself. And you see this person has videos, they have playlists. When you look at Charlamagne's channel though, and keep in mind, these are comments on Akademiks' channel where you would expect it to be majority support for Akademiks. And these are the top comments. But when you look at Charlamagne's channel, you see this is the difference between people living in the real world and people living on the internet. Isn't that odd that that was a previous comment before by a likely botted account when real life meets internet? You're going to see this theme go across. Like, this is something that Ebro also said in his recent life. He's like, yeah, it's like when somebody's on the internet and they're just like, oh, this is internet. This is real life. That is the phrase that they're trying to put out there because we're seeing it multiple times. And this was never something that either of these people talked about. And then you see another comment. This is the perfect example of internet paranoia and factual real life. What? So the T Sims one, this could be a real account. I think it might be real, right? Like you see videos that are uploaded, but then the other one, I don't think it's real. This one's brand new. It's a brand new account. It's no content, nothing like that. And on Charlamagne's comments, all you see is positive Charlamagne comments, Charlamagne 1 comments. On Akademiks' comment section, you don't see any comments supporting Akademiks, which is very odd. You don't see any nuanced comments either. And this is what people will do Because I'll give you guys an example. Like if you've watched any of my videos, instantly you'll see certain bot comments and they'll be upvoted. So you'll see some random weird comment by usually a chick that's a bot, and then it'll get like 50 likes. And if it gets 50 likes, it's going to be in the top comments. So when the video is first uploaded and you know a video is going to get a ton of views, I don't get a ton of views, but you guys get my point. The top comment's going to be there. People are most likely going to read and engage with a top comment before they're going to watch the entire video. That's just what they do. You open a video, you scroll through the comments a little bit, and this is going to seed a narrative before they even watch the content. Something else that's happening too with certain bot accounts is that they will steal a comment that has a couple of likes. And this is something that you've probably noticed as well. If you just look through my comment section, you'll see like a chick or something like that, and it'll say the same exact comment as someone that got a decent amount of likes, but they'll give their comment a lot more likes. So now that they know like, okay, this comment worked, let's run that back again. So this is just two different, like this is not paranoia. I seen these bots happen on my own channel. And when you look at my comment section, just look through the comment section of the video that I did where I talked about Charlamagne and the AI article, you see a lot of nuance, right? Like you see different opinions. Some people are like, yo, you're tripping, act lost, which I didn't even really judge it by that. And then you see people that are supporting Charlamagne, and you see people that are discussing the topic. You get a wide range of comments that are of real people. But here, these guys, there is my belief that they're jacking these comments, because you could not have watched that video and delivered some of the comments that these people did and have them run to the top. And that's something that couldn't have been done on live. So you see Akademiks pulls up, and during the interview, Akademiks thinks that, yo, I'm just having an honest conversation with my guy. Meanwhile, he's walking into a guy that wants to destroy him. And his whole intent is, I'm going to make this guy look crazy. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to be like, yo, I don't know anything about that. What the hell is that? Oh, man, you sound paranoid. Oh, man, you sound manic. You know how crazy that sounds? And that's all he did. And Akademiks is delivering points like, yo, you know what they did to this person and this person and this person. And he thinks that the people that are watching this, or most people, have a brain or have any of the context he's giving. They don't. If you just put the conversation on mute, that's really the number one rule. Put it on mute and you watch it, you just scrub through it, and it looks like Charlamagne's chilling, relaxed, sitting back, confused, and Akademiks is talking and flustered. And that's really all there is to it. Yeah, you're probably like, wait, people aren't listening? They're not paying attention? No, they're not. And that's the lowest common denominator. And Charlamagne even jokes at it and says, man, you try to take advantage of these people. You know they don't read. He knows they don't read. He knows that they're not going to look into anything further. What Akademiks should have pulled up here is mental health studies of people that have suffered from gambling addiction. He should have pulled up, like, yo, you talk a lot about mental health, this foundation, this and that. Well, what do you think about all of these? Like when casinos came in, these places, they had higher crime rate. You have to just bring something like that. Also talk about Logic. Be like, yeah, you remember when you were doing that interview with Logic and you asked him like, yo, who raped your sister? Like, why would you ask somebody that? Like, you know, Logic, you're into mental health, right? Well, here's objective proof that Logic's song 1-800 has done more for mental health than you've ever done. And this is objective, and it's saved more lives than you have. Have you ever given a public apology to Logic? He should have came on the attack and prepared with like a whole dossier and folder of things that he was going to hit Charlamagne upside the head with. But he's, like I said, he thinks that, nah, this is my friend, I can't do that to him, or he still has this hope that that's his friend. But that was his opportunity to metaphorically cut his head off, and he didn't do it. And Charlamagne was like, okay, I'm going to use that to my advantage. Because if this had never happened, Charlamagne would be in a panic, because they needed material. Charlamagne and his ilk and the people around him, they needed material to use against an Akademiks. And they can't use his stream because he is talking usually from facts, and it's quite sensible in regard to everything that's been happening there. So they need more material. They're like, okay, we need some material to spin. We need you to ask certain questions. We need to get into these topics, and then we can put that out there and put out a narrative. And that's why the sit down happened. Otherwise, they would have just been getting terrorized left and right, and they wouldn't have been able to avoid it. But now they have some material, and a bunch of people are saying like, yo, the number one thing, and this is why I said you just have to watch it on mute or scrub through it on mute, because people are saying, yo, Akademiks has that crazy energy on live stream, but he didn't have that same energy in person. That's what these people are talking. Like, they want him yelling, saying, I'm going to choke you like Lil Baby. And that's something that I think Akademiks isn't maybe aware of or didn't come into it, which is the casual audience that doesn't watch him, that isn't tapped in. They know him because of clips of him yelling, getting drunk, like glazing Drake, like these high emotional moments that go viral. They don't know him for anything else. They don't know him for any breakdowns, anything like that. So when they see you not acting like the loud, belligerent, angry person that they want you to have that same energy in person, basically like getting damn near violent with Charlamagne, they'd be like, man, this guy lost. But hopefully he realizes that Charlamagne is his enemy. Charlamagne would feed him to the wolves at any given point in time, and he moves accordingly. Because the best thing that he could have done is just kept exposing thing after thing after thing after thing after thing and just let his mans keep doing the work, and they'd be scrambling, trying to make something happen. But that's my assessment on it. I think it was an L because you have to look at the whole, like, Akademiks gained zero from this. What could have been gained? He gave content to Charlamagne. He convinced Charlamagne of nothing, even though Charlamagne already knew. This guy wasn't there to learn about anything. This guy's saying, oh, I don't know about that. Like, okay, you don't know? Okay, play stupid in front of us. Are you stupid or are you smart? Do you write books? This guy wrote an entire book and doesn't read an article to see if it's AI and doesn't know the article quote after having quoted it 3 weeks in a row. Like, come on, man. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all in the next one.